welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dani and this is Coffee Break with Dani. Today we're here with a Get Ready With Me. You are not going to take in any useful information as it pertains to makeup. In fact, this is going to be maybe a therapy session, maybe I'm gonna annoy you, but it is going to be a raw, real video of what's been going on, what's the current state of affairs at Coffee Break with Dani headquarters. And if I seemingly disappear off the face of this earth, it's either because I'm in an orange jumpsuit or I drove to the bottom of a lake. Anyway, it has been not a dumpster fire, more like the place where they go, like the dump, like where they go dump the trash, like the whole dump is on fire. But we are going to get through this season in life just like we've gotten through every other season in life. But this time what we're gonna do differently is I'm gonna bring you along. I'm gonna share it with you. So instead of getting quiet and disappearing, I'm gonna say, hey girls, let's talk about this. And so I don't apologize in advance if you think I'm whiny and annoying in this video, because they are my feelings and they are valid. And I'm pretty sure that out of the 5 of you that watch this video, 4 of you are gonna be like, been there, got this girl. Do you need a getaway car? Do you need the guest room? Do you need bail money? Or do you need a shovel? So that's what we're here for. We are gonna play with makeup. We are going to do this. I don't know what this is. I don't even know what to call it. I feel like a Care Bear a little bit right now. So we're gonna do this together, and like any and all my Get Ready With Me's, everything will be listed and linked in the description box of this video. But you're here for the show, so let's get on with it. Alright you guys, a full disclosure, this video may make you feel a certain way about me or what I say. I anticipate this Get Ready With Me is going to be not about makeup, but it's either going to make me sound whiny, ungrateful, and spoiled, or you're going to be like, to all the moms in the world, preach it, sister. So that's my warning before we get into it. It has been one over here, you guys, okay? And this is what I'm saying about how like, oh, I'm whining because I get to remodel my bathroom. I know I'm remodeling my bathroom. Thank you for giving me the possibility to be able to do that. However, it's nice to not have to do it because you have black mold, you know? Anyway, that's been taken care of, the mold aspect. What I'm trying to build up towards is like, holy mackerel, what's been going on and what's going on with like my content and what, you know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter that I wake up and I'm like, yeah, today I'm gonna do it. Today I'm gonna do this. I'm back in a routine. I'm really figuring out my life. Oh, by the way, if I forget to mention an item that I'm using or anything that I'm putting on my face or that's on my body or my shirt or my necklace or whatever, it's always listed in the description box. So when you pull down and it kind of opens up, it will always list videos that are relevant to this. So like a playlist of all the times we got ready together. It'll also have a list of the makeup items that I'm using on my face. And then it'll have a separate section of the color on my nails, my shirt, my necklace, earrings, all of that stuff will be listed in a separate section that says what I'm wearing. Okay, so we've had to do the master bath remodel because we found mold. And of course, like any and all contractors, they say that it will take a certain amount of time. And obviously it's never that amount of time. So they told us 4 to 6 weeks. It's been 6 weeks. I honestly can't complain. We have had incredible luck with this company. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say who it is yet until the job is finished and we do the final walkthrough and I blend out my primer. So I'm not gonna say who it is until we do the final walkthrough and, you know, we're happy and we got the final product, you know, like no voy a cantar victoria. Like I'm not singing victory quite yet. Also, if you've ever met a concealer that you wanted to marry, it's gonna be this one. Side note. So yeah, I mean, it's just been awesome. It's been awesome. I mean, there's been like annoying little things here or there, like some of the trades don't want to work with each other. Like, well, unless the plumber's done, like, I don't want to get started. Like, I need my space. Stuff like that. So, I'm not speaking out of turn here. I'm not saying like, oh, they said that because they can't do their job if that other job isn't done. No, it was literally like, I don't want to be here with someone else. Let them finish and then I'll come in. So I guess maybe it's like a music thing. Like they want to listen to music or they want to talk to their, I don't know, assistant or whatever. You know, they're having some trades that show up at like 10 and leave at 1. And they'll just work like 2 or 3 hours a day. I'm like, well, yeah, how are you supposed to finish that way? And then there's others, like the one that's here right now, like he never makes noise. He goes in there and he's in there all day from 7 to 3. Every day, all day. And he works quietly and he's polite and he doesn't make a mess and he doesn't listen to me. Well, he does listen to music, but like in his own ears. I forgot how quickly I have to work with this concealer. Like, I'm not complaining. You know, no relationship's perfect, but it does work. It does set fast and it sets so pretty. It makes your skin look like skin, but like perfect skin. Like you painted your skin on without the feeling of like a thick, heavy, matte, paint-like concealer. It's awesome. I don't know what's in it. I mean, it's definitely like newborn baby tears. He's just awesome. He's in there all day. He does what he's supposed to do. He wraps up. He tells me when he's gonna come back, what time, everything. And he's like at the door, 7 a.m. every day, ready to rock. Love a guy. It has been like, you know, when you see like drama happening like at the store or on the highway or whatever, like you can't help but gooseneck or like stand up an ear, like what's going, like gooseneck, because I'm about to unload on you guys. Okay, so my oldest got the C word again. I can't say it because I think they filter it out and then they like flag your video, but you know what happened a couple years ago and everyone was freaking out. So in my family, like in my household, everybody's gotten it except little man and me. Except Daniel and I were the only ones, and I think it's because our blood type. I'm almost sure of it because he's the only one in the house that has the same blood type as I do. But that could just be my uneducated theory. I don't know. I mean, like that's the only common denominator because little man is real gross. I mean, if I told you, he's just, you know, kids, they just put their hands in their mouth. It doesn't matter what's been on them. So anyway, Mateo got it for a second time the week he had his very first baseball tournament. Okay. It's like, I was having this conversation with Parker the other day, going in with Tower 28 Sunny Days tinted sunscreen. I know, like, what? You're doing it as a foundation? There's really not much coverage to it. It looks like there is, and they do sell it by shade, but it's not super, like, it's like almost like a BB cream or like a balm. Very light, hardly any coverage, doesn't really oxidize, easy to use. I just like to use it, you know, here or there. I obviously went a little ham sandwich with the concealer, but I really like it. I like it on days where I'm not, you know, doing anything. Anyway, I'll talk about it in a different video. But so he gets it the week that we have a baseball tournament. And of course, trying to coordinate schedules, like you guys know, whether or not you're a blended family, if there's more than one kid in the house, it's really hard. It's hard if the grown-ups work. It's hard if they play sports. It's hard if they have extracurriculars. It's just hard in general. So we had already like perfectly navigated how we were going to coordinate this baseball tournament, because if you're not familiar with baseball tournaments, there's no schedule. You just show up at your first game time on Saturday and then you stay there all day. Depending on what the results are, you play again, and then you go home, and then you come back Sunday, and then depending on what the results are, you either play again or you go home. So it's just, your weekend's lost. And then he decides to get sick. So we're like, what do we do? Where's little man? Parker's one of the assistant coaches on Mateo's team, and so it's like, he can't be here, and he already asked for time off his job. Oh, because by the way, he's perpetually on call. So like, my husband's so badass that he develops this amazing, incredible tool or functionality or something to just really elevate his department, but he's the only one certified to do it. So now he's on call 24/7. And they do call him in 24/7. So I'm getting phone calls around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., all those times where people like to make irresponsible decisions and get in motor vehicles. Thanks. Yeah. So anyway, so that's been stressful. And then Mateo getting sick. And then, oh my gosh, I got to get into a story where I tell you what my son did. All the moms in the world are going to cry with me. Yeah, you are. Okay, so I grew up in a household where my mother loved to play the comparison game. Why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be more like your brother? He's my smart one. She's the funny one. Oh, she has a big mouth, which by the way, yes, I do. It gets me into trouble. I can't help myself. I am who I am. And I am lucky enough, and maybe I'm getting defensive, but I'm lucky enough to have people in my circle that know how my mouth operates. That, you know, sometimes it will get me into trouble. And if you tell me that I made a mistake, I'm going to be the first one to say like, oh crap, like it's literally not my intention, but I can totally understand why you think that, or it makes you feel that way, and, you know, apologize and do whatever you're supposed to do. Anyway, so growing up with a mom that played the comparison game was pretty hard, but now that I'm a mom myself and I am exposed to 4 different personalities of children, you know, consistently, it's hard. It's hard not to. It's really hard not to. And I don't mean outwardly, because I'm not, you know, so I don't do it outwardly. Like, why can't you be like your brother? But I definitely think it. Yeah, I'm saying it. I definitely think it. And so my son Daniel, my son Daniel is 8. He will be 9 in March. And I tell little man things once. Daniel, when you come home from school, unpack your backpack, put your shoes in the basket, hang your backpack on the hook, put your lunchbox in the freezer, you know, like there's a routine. So I tell once, and it gets done. One time. My older son, I have to tell him once, and then he asks me why, and then how long, how much, how often, what it requires, what the parameters are, like 40 questions. And we agree, and he says, okay, cool, and he does it that one time. But then I have to remind him to do it again. And then I have to remind him to do it again. And whenever I need him to do it, I need to remind him to do it again. And so it's one of those things that is extremely hard, because as a parent, you see how intelligent your kids are, and you also see how motivated they get when things matter to them. So, for example, he will ask me if a couple of his friends can come over. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, sure. And while his friends are here, his friends are like, oh, we haven't played A, B, and C in a long time. Let's remember to do that. So he knows he's forgetful, so he sets an alarm on his phone or his iPad to, yes, he has a phone and his iPad. This is what I'm getting at. Very spoiled, very entitled, and only does things that matter to him, and really working hard at it, but I'm this close to putting on a seatbelt and driving into a lake, let me tell you. So you know, they come over and they're like, oh, we haven't done this in a while, we haven't done that. And he's like, okay, cool, let's not forget. So I'm gonna set an alarm to do it. And he sets an alarm and he doesn't forget to do it, and they all have fun and they go on in their merry way. All the while, this cream blush, you guys, from Rose Inc. Amazing! All the while, even though he had this amazing play date where they got to play laser tag with his full set of actual laser tag equipment that his grandmother got him, they got to use the pool because, yes, he has a pool. They got to play outside with their baseball equipment that their dad has, like, pristine, top-notch, top-of-the-line, because, you know, he's playing AA now, outside in a safe neighborhood because, you know, dad, stepdad, and I work super hard to be able to provide that for him. He got snacks during his play date. He got, you know, the kids each got a personalized water bottle. Like, they had, it was the best time. And at the end of it, he complained because I only let them stay from 11 to 4:30. That is my child. So it's been frustrating, to say the least. My eyebrows look like I'm actually filling them in, right? So I'm having to crop out this giant chunk of video because I haven't been able to get my work done because there are strange men coming in and out of my house for the last 6 weeks. They just let themselves in, they walk in. My bathroom's right behind here where we're filming. And so it's really hard to be able to predict which trade is coming in that day. Are they gonna be noisy? Are they not? So it's been hard. I've basically been on call, like, can I film today? Can I not? So the day that perfectly lines up where I can, not only do I get summoned to volunteer at the school, so I'm like rushing to finish because I have to be there in the next 40 minutes. My beautiful, handsome, very sexy husband decided to have a vacation day because he needs to prep for going out of town for an entire week next week. And even though we have several bathrooms in this house, he decides to use one that's right behind this wall. So I saved you guys the trouble of hearing him urinate like a horse, and that's why I was able to finish my brows, basically. Well, oh my god, this is literally the vibe of this video. It's like, I'm tired of having people in my house. I'm tired of not having my own schedule. I'm tired that every night is a baseball thing, something either for Daniel or Mateo. Even though it makes them happy, it's like, I just need you guys to appreciate how lucky you guys are. I just need you guys to appreciate how much we do for you guys. And this is kind of where I'm getting at. So last 2 or 3 weeks ago, Parker and I have been sleeping upstairs. So I have my dirty clothes hamper upstairs in Daniel's room. And so they already know that they need to drop their hampers on a specific day. So I asked them to bring down the hampers. Keep in mind, you guys, they don't actually have to bring them down. They just have to kind of throw the dirty clothes over the rail, and then I sort it, gather it, and do the laundry. That's literally all the job entails, is throwing the dirty clothes over the rail. So I asked him, did you drop the dirty clothes over the rail? And Daniel's response is, ugh. I know my baby never talks back, and I know that when he gives me a bad attitude, it's because he's tired. And usually he's tired when he comes back from staying somewhere where they don't have stringent bedtime schedules. And so I'm patient. So he's like, ugh. So he goes back upstairs and he dumps his hamper. And then Mateo proceeds to do his own. Wow. Not my proudest moment, but I lost it. I mean, I completely lost my poop emoji. I was like, did you guys not drop my hamper? That's right next to your hamper. Even though I asked you, hampers, all the hampers, including mine, I specifically said mine too. And as I asked, did you do my hamper? They both did. Ugh. That's it. That was World War III. In Dallas, Texas, mom is literally the weapon of mass destruction. I lost it. I completely lost it. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I had already had a conversation with Parker, like, you know, best friend conversation where I'm like, you know, I'm feeling so overwhelmed. I feel so unappreciated. I feel so invisible. I feel like an appliance that gets used throughout the day and then you just wash it and put it away. You know, like this is Smoothie King at the end of the day. I'm the Vitamix that they put under the counter after they break down the kitchen. And I feel so invisible and it just drives me crazy. It made me cry. It really hurt my feelings. And that was it. I resort to being mad or to getting angry when I'm sad. Because growing up, I was bullied, and so I never got anywhere by being sad. It just frustrated me. Like, why don't people like me? So now for me, anger is just an extension of me saying I'm super sad. And so it's a lot easier for me to be mad because it makes me feel safe and protected. You know, it makes me feel prickly, so like no one's gonna mess with me if I'm mad. Versus if I'm sad, people see it as weakness, even though it's not. It's a sign of strength to be able to cry. But I was just so hurt. I was telling Parker about it. I'm like, this is not fair. I do so much that I don't have to do. So shame on me. Like, I should be mad at myself because I'm doing this to myself. I'm the one that's setting myself up. I'm the one that's hurting my own feelings. I'm the one that's walking into this because I have terrible boundaries with me, with my family, with how much I do, and I should know better. And I need to change. This is completely on me. Now, here's the thing is, like I said, I tell one of my boys the things once, and that's it. That's all it takes. Tell him once, he gets it, he does it, and that's it. I never have to repeat myself again, unless he's sleepy or tired. And it's not even about repeating myself. It's more of he's gonna do it, he's just like annoyed because he's tired. Anyway, a couple days go by and it's Sunday now. I'm asking my oldest about his PE clothes because now that he's in middle school, he has to change to do PE. And I always tell him, don't bother your dad with that. Your dad has plenty going on with baseball, coaching both of your teams. Bring him here. I'm the one that picks him up from school on Fridays. Well, I pick them up from school every day and dad just picks them up here, because they get off at different times now. So I'm like, just bring them here, leave them here, and we're good. Long story short, he lied like 27 different ways about where his PE clothes. He blamed it on me, he blamed it on his dad, he said it was here, he said it was there, he said maybe it's here, maybe it's there. And what I'm trying to get through to him is, you're a kid, and kids are gonna do kid things. But a sign of growth is, Mom, I'm really sorry, I forgot my PE clothes in my science class. Is there any way that I can figure this out by Monday? Is there anything I can do? Tell me you made a mistake, and I'm not gonna punish you for it. But when you evade responsibility or lack accountability, I just lose it. I absolutely lose it. I don't care if you hurt my feelings 75 times, if those 75 times you hold yourself accountable. But if you do something and have zero accountability or recollection or, admit or recognize, it's frustrating because you don't care. That's basically what you're saying is, it's, whatever, get over it. I don't think I did anything wrong and you shouldn't overreact because these are all the reasons why I don't have my PE clothes. I don't know what the big deal is. So, I'm already like zero bandwidth. I'm like Jack on Titanic. I'm hanging onto the door at this point. I've already lost it. My family doesn't appreciate me. I've been sick for 2 weeks, and even though I tested myself, I went to one of those clinics, I'm negative, I'm not sick. I've been super, super sick for 2 weeks. Not anymore, but at this time frame, and I just feel absolutely crappy. Like I wake up and I'm like death is knocking on my door. I have like tissues stuck to my nostrils. I'm just miserable. And no one says, is there anything I can do for you? Can I bring home dinner? Do you want me to take you to the doctor? Mom, I see the dishes are piling up. Can I help? Can I unload? Can I take out the trash? Heck, don't even ask, just do it. Nobody. So I'm already feeling like, oh my God, so crappy, so sad, like nobody cares about me. And I asked my oldest, hold please, I have to find a mascara. And I bought so many new ones that I'm excited to try one. So you guys are gonna see a haul. If it's live already, I'll link it. But I got 3 drugstore mascaras because I really wanna replace another product that I discontinued. It's literally what I do. To all the things, okay, this one looks promising. To all the things that I love in this world, I can't say it out loud. I can't shout it from the rooftops because it gets discontinued. Like Lash Freak from Urban Decay. This is Lash Like a Boss. It's from Essence. The color of the package reminded me of Lash Freak, and so did the wand, sort of, just because it's a silicone wand and it has like a little section where it really can glob up, which, you know how I feel about spider lashes. So come Monday morning, I tell my son, hey, Mateo, my oldest son. Oh yeah, this is promising. Hey, laundry basket, not the hamper, hamper is the dirty clothes, laundry basket has the clean clothes. Oh no, on Sunday, when was it? So the week right after I lost my poop, I was like, you know what? I do too much. I had this like revelation where I was like, most of the things that I do are privilege. They're not obligations. My obligation is to feed them, clothe them, make their lunch, not even make their lunch, have stuff for them to be able to pack their lunch. Because I'm sorry, if you know how to use an iPad and a computer, you know how to pack a lunch. So, you know, most of the things that I do, like drive Mateo to school when it's close enough for him to walk, like that's all privilege. Sorry, I'm like not even in frame. So I was like, I do too much. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do your laundry, but I'm just gonna throw it in your basket and you guys can fold it and put it away. I know most of you at home right now are like, duh, I've been doing that for years. Sorry guys, like it's taken me a minute to catch up here. So Mateo starts walking down the stairs and he's like, ugh, that was so hard. And I'm like, what was hard? He's like, the way the laundry was. Ugh, it wasn't even folded. This is probably why I don't have mom friends, but I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I did say that to him. I wanted to. It took all the strength in me not to, but literally my first thought was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? And I was like, how do you think the clothes comes out of the dryer? How do you think the clothes magically appears nicely folded, the perfect shape every time that the laundry gets done? Because I do it. Because I do yours, your brother's, Parker's, and mine. That's why. That's how it gets done. I do it. Nobody does mine. I do everybody's. And I was like, couldn't you say something else? I know all the moms out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Couldn't you have said something else? And he's literally looking at me like lights are on but nobody's home. Like, no idea. I'm like, Is there anything else you could say? Like, wow, mom, and I just stop, see if he can finish the sentence. When you guys get mascara on your face, just leave it alone. Don't try to wipe it off because you'll disrupt your concealer, your foundation or whatever. Just leave it, completely leave it. I know you're gonna have to fight the urge. Just leave it alone, and once it dries, it comes off real easy with a dry Q-tip. Anyway, so he's looking at me and I'm like, do you have anything to say to me? Like, anything else? Do you want to finish the sentence? Wow, mom. Nothing. Lights are on, nobody's home. I was like, how about instead of saying, wow, that was so hard, you stopped thinking about yourself for a second and how hard that was for you, and maybe you could think about how grateful you are that I've done it for you all this time. Like, just pause, and instead of automatically thinking about yourself, think about someone else. I did your laundry, but yet you're complaining about how hard it is to fold, even though we've had this conversation last week where mommy was so upset because she was feeling not appreciated. And this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. You know, like, instead of this could have been such a healing moment for us, and I'm just telling you guys, I didn't say this to him, it's too complex. Like, this could have been such a healing moment for us, where if he came downstairs and was like, mom, I'm so sorry. I totally understand what you're talking about now. I can't believe you fold all our clothes because it was really hard and you have to do it for all of us. I really noticed when you didn't do it. I'm such an appreciation whore that if he had said that to me, I would have been like, okay, here are all your privileges back, your iPad, your Apple Watch. Yes, I know, he's spoiled. You know, your Fortnite, whatever. Here's everything. I love you. You know, wow, self-awareness, growth. This is incredible. I'm so excited. But no, I get it. Okay, his dad's like, he's a child, he's growing, he's figuring it all out. I'm like, okay, you know, I have my thoughts. When you can set alarms to remind yourself of stuff that matters to you, and you can, you know, be super tired but still want to go to baseball. I don't remember how close you guys were. My camera's overheating because apparently I talk too much, and she's like, relax. Y'all, this mascara is changing my life. Usually what I do is I layer my mascaras, and this is one of those where I'm like, oh man, I don't have to layer you. It does length and volume at the same time, and I'm getting it all over my face. So yeah, when you have the capacity to remember things that matter to you, or to realize, hey, I can't remember things that matter to me, so I'm gonna set an alarm for yourself, well, then you can set an alarm for putting away your laundry, you can set an alarm for thanking your mom. I mean, it can be that basic. When Parker and I were doing some like really deep like marriage work about what is important to us in a marriage. Like, I'm not wired the way he is. He grew up in a house with unconditional love. He grew up in a house with praise and words of affirmation, positive encouragement. I didn't. Like, not at all. In fact, if you want to motivate me, I need negative encouragement. That's the only thing that works. And that sucks because children aren't supposed to grow up that way. And so it was hard for me. And what did I do? I set little reminders on my phone that said, check in with your husband, ask him if he's having a good day, give him a compliment at the end of the day, have a check-in with him, like little reminders. And it was so dumb because it made me feel stupid. Like, wow, you should know these things. You are emotionally damaged. But I know my limits. I know what I'm incapable of. I have self-awareness, and I know I'm like a 40-year-old adult. However, what I'm saying is, if my son understands that he needs to set alarms for, you know, going from baseball to the pool, or he needs to set an alarm so that he can do a trick shot or whatever, he knows he has self-awareness. So then he can have self-awareness to do his responsibilities that he has at home. And I guess he doesn't have enough bandwidth because he has too much privilege. So now we're teaching him. For me, the whole, like the Pandora's box or the straw that broke the camel's back wasn't even the hampers. So a week or two later, after all this stuff I've told you, Monday morning, I say, hey, laundry baskets, go put away your laundry. And he's like, ugh, okay. So he goes and puts it away, and he comes down in like 30 seconds, which the laundry's not folded. So there's no way in Jesus he's done it. So I'm like, did you put away your laundry? Because I'm going to check. So he runs back upstairs, takes like 15 minutes, almost late to eat his breakfast because he took so long, and comes back down and he says he did it. I go upstairs and I do a room check, and it looks okay. I mean, it's not good. He's still super sloppy, but it's It's a Monday morning and I don't want to start off my week like that. So I send him off to school. Later in the day, I had let him use an old vlogging camera that weekend to play with his friends that he complained about. And I'm looking for it because when I let him borrow it, I didn't have the old battery charged, so I let him use one of my good batteries. And by good batteries, I mean this crap that overheats and gives me a hard time and interrupts our super girl talk. So I'm like looking for the camera because I want my battery back and the other, old batteries charged, and he can play with that one. And as I'm looking for it, my son's very cute because he hides things in like really weird places. He reminds me of a ferret. So obviously I'm looking in really weird places. And when I look in his hamper, now remember, laundry basket, clean clothes, hamper, dirty clothes. When I look at his hamper, all the clothes that I had just washed and asked him twice if he had put away were in his hamper. Can you divorce your kids? Like, is that a thing? It's really interesting to me how God works because God knew that he needed to be in school when I found the clothes. Because had I had the mental capacity or the energy, or I was awake enough to check the hamper that morning before he left for school, I would have met my mother again. I don't like her. I don't like when she comes out. We're working on it. But it's hard to be wired a certain way and then to like deprogram and then reprogram in the way you want. I work really hard and I've gotten really far, but I still have a long ways to go. And I don't want my kids to grow up afraid of me. I want them to grow up respecting me and trusting me. And when they're scared or in trouble, they come to me for help. And so, just even thinking about it now, it's so upsetting because everything we talked about, everything we said, how I felt not appreciated and not respected, and everything that I do that I don't have to do, that I do because I love them and I want to, that all I want is a thank you, and to find the clean clothes in the dirty hamper that I had just washed. Oh my God, I fell apart. Like, completely fell apart. You guys, I do have to stop for a couple of seconds. Two things. The first one is this mascara. I didn't jump the gun to say I love it. I do love it. It does take a while to dry, so don't be a brute like me and stack your layers until they're dry in between. Do a coat, let it actually dry, then do a second coat if you're gonna do that. Otherwise, if you have really long lashes, like mine are fake long because I use that serum, like the eyelash serum, and you get the smudges up here, this is one of those mascaras that isn't crumbly when it dries, so you can't just wipe it. I don't know if you can tell, but I smudged my makeup a little bit because it like really clings on, which I guess is a good thing because it's not going to get all over your face. But definitely you have to let it dry or it will get kind of crimpy. Like when it touches, it'll like lose its shape, is what I'm trying to say. Wow, words are hard. So mascara, still love it, still very easy to use, but it's definitely not gonna be something you can do in a hurry if you layer your mascaras. And then number two, what was the number two? Oh, the number two, how can I forget that? That's like the most important thing. The number two is, you guys made the time fly by just by sharing with you guys, and letting me rant and rave and vent to you guys. So I appreciate that. I know this is kind of weird, this type of relationship, because like I don't ever get to see you and you see me, but like not really. And it's just, you guys make a big difference. You're like my surrogate friends, digital friends. Anyway, we need to do highlighter and lips and then we are done. So, for those of you that are concerned, my son is alive. He is the reason that I am a mom, and he was not hurt in the process. Like I said, God's protection, man. He was in school, and by the time he came home, I was able to really just ground myself again. And I didn't plan a premeditated murder, okay? Because he's my baby and I love him. Like I said, he's the reason that I became a mom, and he makes me so happy, and he's so smart, and he has so many good qualities that just make me so proud to be his mom. So when he did stuff like that, it just, I don't want to give him a pass, but I'm like, he knows better, he knows better. Anyway, I took away everything. everything that is a privilege, from watching TV, using his iPad, wearing an Apple Watch, packing his lunch, making his breakfast, anything that is a privilege. So I am not a, what's the word? I want to say, but that's not what I mean. Like, I'm a super hands-on mom, and I want my kids to grow up feeling love and feeling unconditional love. And, you know, no matter what, I got your back. I think about you, but there's a lot of things that I do that I shouldn't have to do, and really soak up my bandwidth. And all of those things are a part of it. I'm the house manager. I manage this house. I do the grocery shopping. I do everyone's laundry. I make a hot dinner every night. The boys get a hot lunch every day. Depending on what they're in the mood for, Mateo will get a hot breakfast 2 or 3 of the 4 days that they're with me and they go to school. So I go above and beyond, and I want to be a mom that they remember, and when I call them, they don't go, ugh, or they don't go, I'm in trouble. You know, like, I want to be that mom that gives them good, happy feelings. So all his privileges were taken away, and it's been really difficult as a mom to put him through that, because I'm not sure if he understands why. As opposed to, because he's only grown up with seeing that he thinks I'm just being mean. And so I'm struggling a lot with that. And of all the things that he's lost privilege to, I almost took away baseball, but because his dad is coach and there's 11 other boys that are counting on him, and not to toot his own horn, and if you tell him I said this, I will deny it, he's probably like top 3 players on the team, and his attitude has a lot to do with it. And so that would just hurt his team, and that's not fair. But it took a lot for me to not say, like, you're benched. Like, you're going to baseball in street clothes, and you're going to tell your team that you can't play because you were a disrespectful little turd with your mother, and apologize to them for letting them down. But he doesn't need shame. I'm still trying to get rid of mine. So anyway, the only thing that's really worked is having him walk to and from school. And he's like so heartbroken about it. And I'm like right there, I'm like teetering. I'm teetering with, do I give him his privileges back? And it's only been, you know, from losing it after I found the clothes in the hamper, it's been a week. And so I told him, you'll get your stuff in October. So you'll lose, it's like 2 weeks of electronics and stuff. I'm like, that's not bad. I mean, we got grounded for like the whole summer or whatever, you know? It's been hard, man. It's been super hard. It's always one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. But usually, you guys know, man, we're women. Like, we carry entire families on our backs. We rally. We've gone through our hardest days. We survive. That's what we are, because we don't have a choice. We're survivors. And I'm proud of that. But sometimes it just takes that really small, tiny, insignificant little thing to just make you lose it. So the lesson in today's video is, don't check your kid's hamper until they go to school. And that's it for this Get Ready With Me. We are trying to get back into some semblance of swing of things. The bathroom should be done in the next 2 weeks, but Parker is going to be gone for a whole week during that time. So that's going to be super stressful, because I think for both of us, it's going to be a really great lesson on how much we both really do, how much we really support each other. And while it's never been a complaint of mine, since he's been on call so much, I'm starting to get, you know, exhausted, because he's physically present most of the time, but you know, we get interrupted at 2, 3 a.m. So then my sleep gets interrupted. He's tired. And as even when he's home, he's like, lights are on, nobody's there, a la Mateo, you know? So it's been hard, but I mean, we're gonna get through it, because that's what we do. We're women, and we navigate, and we survive our grimmest, darkest, scariest days, and we live to talk about it. And that's why this video is gonna make you think that either you need to fully support me and you have the shovel, the getaway car, or the bail money ready, or you think I'm a spoiled, entitled brat. Either way, you're entitled to your opinion, but I really had to get that off my chest. In an effort to, I don't know, maybe you feel seen now. Maybe this is what you're going through. Maybe you had a silly moment where you feel so guilty because you completely broke down because the store had ran out of eggs, but it really wasn't about the eggs. You know what I mean? Anyway, that is it for this Get Ready With Me. I will make sure to list and link all the products in the description box of this video. And I think that's it. I love you guys so much, and you know what to do. If you found this video useful, entertaining, and learned something, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye, guys.